want to do this for this video. I just been driving here in the car, setting off my girlfriend and her kids on a train station. And it occurred to me one good travel tip. I love traveling the world. If you haven't seen my channel before, I love traveling all over the world, especially when it was during the pandemic. I tended to travel way more than anyone else thought it was possible. For me, it was a test to see how far you can go, where you can travel without getting your injection cards out and testing cards out and all these things. And I wanted to test it just to see what was possible. Oh, I forgot my key. What was possible. And because people said you can't travel during a pandemic. So I thought, okay. And we challenged the norm and just went traveling, actually. Hang on. Keys are important to get inside. And so one tip for staying at the countryside. If you like cities, it's very easy. You know how to go to the city, you go to the airport, you take the first taxi there or train or whatever, metro or whatever you want to do. But my point today I want to talk about is how do you find a nice place to go where it's not overcrowded, where there's not too much tourism, because you might get tired of tourism after a while. I mean, if you've seen the world a couple of times, or cities, I think cities are nice, but I would rather, most of the time, find a farm country or something special, like not typical city vibe, things like that. I'd rather find, you know, some place to visit that most people don't go because they don't know what's there, and you might be real lucky and find like a gem. So going to the countryside, like this place I am right now in Gilleleje Harbor, hoping that I don't make it popular one day, because I do a lot of videos from here and it is super nice being here. This is the reason why it's so nice being here. And so if you want to travel to places like this that most people don't, you know, the beach is not overcrowded. Let me just go down there and show you. If you want to try places like this where you kind of have the place for yourself, maybe you're even thinking about moving a place like this, tired of the pandemic and the whole situation, these passport things you had to show just to have lunch at a restaurant just makes no sense. Especially when people finally also know it now. And the world leaders kind of try to admit that they made a huge mistake. Most of them don't, because they're narcissists. They would never admit it, because to them it's more about politics than anything else. You see this beach? I mean, it's quite nice. It has, this is not where the beach is, it's here. I mean, to come back to what I said before about beaches, sandy beaches, not a lot of crowdedness, a few stones, but just go a little further down this way. You'll see there's not a lot of people at all. In the summer, high summer, definitely there's people. But if you want to find places like this, gems that no people go to, there's one great tip I'm going to share with you. Like I said, if you're tired of cities, you're tired of all these places that are crowded because you were in during the pandemic, or during even before, you felt that they were crowded. Well, I figured out one thing that might help you on your search. So look up any train station and look at the timetables for the train stations all around, even bus stops all around the world. You can go on Google Maps, you find some area, you say, oh, there's a beach there, or there's a forest there, anything like that. You find the closest timetable for the buses or the train. If they only arrive once every hour, it's not going to be a crowded place. Usually you would see buses and trains go like 5 minutes or 10 minutes, some places in the world, in cities, even every third minute. So one simple tip is just that. Figure out where you want to go. Find something on Google Maps you think, it might look good, looks good from the air. When you are on Google Maps, I'm out of breath for just walking this. Maybe it's the breakfast filled with bakery today. My girlfriend made bakery stuff. Anyways, so So you can go on Google Maps and you turn on the satellite mode, not the normal mode where you just see colors and, you know, here's land, here's water. Turn on the satellite mode, discover the edges, if you like I really love the ocean, discover the edges of the world. And wherever city you want to go, wherever, yeah, go on Google Maps, zoom in, or Google Earth even, zoom in, find out if it looks nice, then find out the timetables for the bus stops. If the timetable is like, let's say, every 10 minutes, it's because it's crowded. People travel there probably from there to the city, or it is big enough city for a lot of employment. People go a lot by bus. Places like this, people usually have a car or a bike. Usually in Denmark or around, people have bikes. I'm not talking about motorbikes. I'm talking about bicycling. It's a huge thing here in Denmark, and it's cheap. So it's a cheap way to travel. So you could even rent a bike and then just go countryside. I know a lot of people are doing that in Denmark. So if you want to discover Denmark, you put your backpack and sleeping bag on and tent on your back. You start bicycling, and you can actually, there's so many camping sites you can discover. It's actually, I think maybe the rules have changed. I think it's illegal just to put up your tent anywhere in Denmark. Unfortunately, for no reason, they made that illegal. But in France and in, I think Italy might also have it. Definitely Spain, I've seen people do it. So people just, you know, find an area that they can sleep on where there's nobody, deserted grounds, and they sleep there and just put up their tent. A lot of places in France, they have that called air. I think I have one of my videos from France when I drive through Europe a year ago, where I talk about this as well. So that's the main tips. You don't have to go by car, bus, train. You can go by bicycle if you want, depending on where you are in the world. But Denmark's definitely very flat, so it's good for that. And put a backpack on, tent, sleeping bag, stuff like that. Go around. Summertime is really nice. If you have a good tent, you can even do it in the winter time. And a good sleeping bag, of course. But I would also say, again, look up timetables for buses, trains, because public transport will always tell you if it's a crowded place. And use Google Maps, just search the edges of whatever places you want to go. So I hope this will just inspire you for travel. Maybe not now, maybe later, or maybe someone else that you know that can use this tip. I do recommend coming around this area. It's called Græsted, which is a G-R-A, that special A-E letter we have, and S-T-E, that D. Or Hornbæk, H-O-R-N-B, and the special letter again, A-E-K. That's also a really nice place to go. And Tisvilde, T-I-S-V-I-L-D-E, also very nice. And all the areas around here, it's North Zealand. So maybe you go discover. If you don't want to go here, there's so many places in the world. I know Sweden is an amazing place for camping. And it's just right over here. That's the horizon right there. That is Sweden. It's actually less than an hour from here to go over the bridge. Anyways, I hope you could use this video. I just needed this tip for myself to remind me, that's right, I have to remind myself how to get places. Look up timetables for public transport, and you will find a more deserted, nice travel place. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. My name is Mark Barner, and you're watching Good Vibes on Mark Barner's channel. See ya.